Hey Hellions, and welcome to another video with me, Lyns. Today I'm going to be reviewing and discussing Scream 3. So as you know, I absolutely love this franchise so much, but Scream 3 is the least favourite of the franchise for me. I know a lot of people love it. And I don't. And my opinions are very strong with Scream 3, but I promise I will try and be fair with it. So yeah, diving into the movie starts off with Cotton Weary, who was in the first and second one. In the first film, he was accused of killing Sidney Prescott's mum. And in the third one, it's he's doing well for himself. He's in the movie industry business and he's doing very well until he gets a very concerning phone call, and it turns out it's Ghostface, and that's when the movie picks up after the brutal attack of Cotton Weary and his wife, and it brings all the original cast back together. What I like about this is it is not set. It's not set in Woodsboro anymore. It's set in Hollywood. It's a whole different kind of take on the series. I think they decided just to stay away from Woodsboro and have a new setting, and that's what they did. So yeah, basically we find out what is happening with the original characters. Dewey's become a security guard, a security bodyguard for a famous actress who plays Gail Weathers in the fake movie Scream franchise Stab, and the industry is making the third one and whatnot, but it goes all wrong when pretty much half of the cast die. They get slaughtered. So yeah, so we find Dewey as a bodyguard. Gail Weathers is still Gail Weathers, still trying to do a scoop, try to stay relevant. I think by the third one, she's not as big and relevant than what she once was. So once she hears that Ghostface is back, she feels like she going, right, I can start my career again. I can do this. I solved the first two murders. I'm going to do this. So she is determined. And then there's Sidney, who has isolated herself from everyone. She lives on her own. She's in a very safeguarded environment, and she tries to stay low and not be around as many people. I think with the previous events, the first one and the second one, she feels scared, and she just wants to isolate herself and to be safe, basically, which I don't blame her. If all those events happened to me, I would probably be the same. But yeah, but but obviously, it doesn't always go smooth sailing, so to speak. And Ghostface finds her, so she finds herself going to Hollywood and saying, I don't want to be a victim anymore. I don't want to hide. I need to confront this. And she does. And the horror Scooby Gang are all back together, all back together to solve once and for all this killer and to stop Ghostface. So yeah, I'm not particularly. I'm trying to give this review a non-biased kind of review, because I don't particularly enjoy this film. If I'm going to do a Scream binge on the franchise, I do leave the third one out. I just don't feel like it was a Scream film for me. Because we had the first one, which was amazing. We had the second one, wasn't as good as the first one, but it still had that kind of 90s slasher kind of feel to it. We loved it. And the third one didn't have that. And I don't know if it's to do with because Kevin Williamson didn't write the script for the third one. He was busy doing other projects and they couldn't get him because he was too busy and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's because of that. I love Kevin Williamson. I think he is a superb scriptwriter. He is amazing at storytelling, especially with horror and slasher. He is like, he's a legend to do with horror script writing, and you could tell that it wasn't Kevin Williamson that wrote this. And I think that's what it struggled with me, because it was different writers. It was it was a new writer that was in who didn't particularly feel connected to these films like Kevin Williamson did, because he did create these characters, he created this story, and it just felt lagging to me, and it just didn't stay up there on the top tier, you know what I mean? So yeah. And I felt like the story was kind of, I just felt like it was kind of weak. There, in the Scream franchise, there's always these rules and whatnot. And I feel like they focused a bit too much on the rules this time. Like, I think the word trilogy was repeated like a million times in the film. It's a trilogy, it's a trilogy, it's a trilogy, right? We get the point, it is a trilogy. And it goes, because it's a trilogy, I have all these trilogy rules, and it was fun at first because I do like the Scream rules, but I think they just kind of, I don't know, they just kind of focused more on that than the actual story itself. And I did love the gore in this. There was a lot more gore. There was a lot more deaths. There was a lot more creative kind of deaths. Some are silly, like the whole, can you smell the gas? And then all of a sudden, an actor get blown up. That was weak. I think one of the best deaths for me was probably when Candy was in the studio office, and Ghostface comes and she's hiding under all the Ghostface costumes and stuff. I like that death. I think that's the only death that really sticks out to me in this one. But I like that. I did like the gore. I did like the body count. I liked how badass Sydney is. Sydney is a badass Scream Queen. I think she is like one of my favourite Scream Queen characters. She is a legend. She beats Laurie Strode. in my opinion, I love Laurie Strode. She is the ultimate Scream Queen, but for me, it has to be Sydney Prescott. She is a badass. She fights back. She takes no prisoners. She's fearless, and I love that. I just absolutely love Sydney. She just kicks ass so much, and she really does in this. She wasn't really present for most of the film, which I felt like it is about Sydney. Like, Sydney is the whole star of Scream. She is the reason why these psychopaths come and try to kill all her family and everything that's connected to her. She is the star of Scream, and she was barely in it. I think she didn't come into it until like the end of like the second act, and I think that's what was kind of missing. Like, if she was just in it from the whole start of the movie, I think I would have probably liked it a lot better. But she was one of the main reasons why I didn't enjoy it, just because there wasn't enough Sydney there. I liked Patrick Dempsey's character. I liked him as the cop. I liked how they done little hints that, he might be the killer. There was a lot of hints and a lot of suspicion that he might actually be the killer. And I think that would have worked a lot better if he was the killer than who the actual killer was. I'll get to that. Don't worry, I will get to that. But yeah, I did like his character. I think they should have shown his character a lot more. I think after it was revealed who the killer was, Patrick Dempsey's character just kind of like disappeared. There's like, okay, your job is done, bye. And there was no more development after that. I think he was like, he showed up for like the ending scene when they were all in Sydney's house and they've defeated Ghostface and whatnot. But I feel like they should have done more with his character because he was an interesting character, and I would have rather have known more about him than the killer who was revealed as Ronan. Roman, the director of Stab 3, as Ghostface and Sydney's half brother. And it was the weakest. I've talked about like when the killers are revealed, it's like a big shock and you're like, oh my god, it's them. It actually makes sense that it was them. And when it was revealed that it was Roman, I was just like, what is that? You know what I mean? I was like, ah. It was just stupid, and I felt like it was really lazy writing. It was lazy writing, and I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the twist. I didn't enjoy the suspense of that. It made no sense to me, and it was stupid. And it turned out that Roman was the mastermind behind Maureen Prescott's murder. Billy and Stu were just kind of like manipulated into killing her when it was Roman's idea all along. I hate that. I absolutely hate that concept. No, no. I don't think if you watch Scream again, you can tell that Billy wouldn't have been manipulated into anything. No, he is not that type of psychopath. So I hated that. I hated how they kind of ruined that story for Stu and Billy. So yeah, it just wasn't for me. I know a lot of people do love Scream 3, and I can get why they love Scream 3. I love Scream as a whole. I do absolutely love this franchise. I just feel like it was the weakest, and it just done nothing for me, to be honest. What I did like was I did love Parker Posey in this. Her Gail Weathers was amazing. I think she was the shining star of this whole movie. I don't think if Parker Posey wasn't in it, I don't think it would have done as good as what it has did. She was the shining star. She made this film. Just her comedy presence, everything about her. I love Parker Posey. So I agree with Matt on that one. You know, Parker Posey did make this film, but unfortunately, you know, the story it just wasn't for me. I just didn't enjoy it. And like I said, when I go back to revisit this franchise, I do usually leave Scream 3 out. It's just because I just don't enjoy it that much. Maybe because of my high expectations, because of how much I love Scream and Scream 2. You know, they are my two favourite out of the whole franchise. We'll get to Scream 4 soon, in the next Scream review, but those two alone were just amazing to me. And I think just because of the writing and the way that it was directed and the story as well, it just wasn't great. It just did not live up to those Scream expectations for me. What do you guys think? Do you like Scream 3? Do you hate Scream 3? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Please leave your comments down below. But yeah, unfortunately, I will have to give this movie, I'm sorry, but I'll have to give this a 5 out of 10. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10 because it is a film that I don't watch regularly. This is the first time I've watched it in a long time to do this review. Um, it's higher because I usually would have probably rated it a lot lower than what I did. So I'm giving it a 5 because it is a Scream film. But yeah, 5 out of 10. So sorry guys. I hope I wasn't too cruel with this film. There is good aspects in it, but unfortunately the bad way the good, and yeah, it just wasn't my favorite. So that is my review on Scream 3. What did you guys think? Please let me know, and I will see you all soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching that video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to stab that like button, slash that subscribe button, and you'll be constantly in the know. If you want to see any more of our amazing content, go to www.hellhoundmagazine.com. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Links are in the description below, as well as the icons along here. That's really it, guys. We always appreciate your love and support. And until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and we'll see you soon.